Main Street Brewing is a microbrewery that produces 10 different varieties of beer. 3 of these beer types are sold and marketed as Main Street Brewing brand. However, the overall production of the Main Street Brewing brand represents over 70% of the total beer produced by the brewery. The remaining 7 varieties of beer are made specifically for area restaurants and bars for those establishments to sell as their own unique brand. Every day, the brewery produces approximately 40 half kegs of beer. A half keg is a stainless steel barrel that holds 15.5 gallons of beer. The keg has 2 handles to assist in lifting and moving. The half keg, pictured below, has a diameter of 16.5 inches and a height of 23 inches. When filled with beer, a full half keg weighs 160 pounds. The kegs are filled by transferring beer from very large tanks to the individual kegs. A half keg is pictured below. The sales department provides a weekly production schedule to tell the brewers what type of beer to produce. When asked how the production schedule is created, the sales manager said, "I've been in this position for a long time, so I have a pretty good idea what customers are going to want to buy. If I make a mistake and we run out of a particular type of beer, the customer will usually order something else." The sales manager estimates that approximately 10% of customers are not able to get the exact type of beer when they place an order. It is important that the beer that is produced be shipped to the customer as soon as possible, because it loses freshness if it sits for more than 6 months. A date-stamped sticker is affixed to the top of each keg. Beer that sits in the cooler for more than 6 months is sold at a 35% discount. On average, the brewery must sell nearly 20% of its beer in inventory each month at this reduced price. The brewing process takes over 1 week from the beginning to the final stage when the beer is ready to be kegged out. Each day, 40 half kegs are filled, and this generally consists of 2 varieties of beer, 20 half kegs for each variety. Once the kegs are filled on the brewery floor, 1 or 2 workers transfer the filled kegs to the storage cooler, as the beer must always be kept cold. This is accomplished using a 2-wheel cart, as well as manually dragging and rolling the kegs into the cooler. The beer cooler holds all the finished beer and includes not only the kegged beer, but also cases of bottled beer produced on the bottling line. An aisle is kept clear that is just wide enough for the workers to fit the cart that is used to transport the kegs. Kegs are stored 2 high, meaning 1 keg is stacked on top of another. When possible, 2 workers lift the keg together. But 2 workers aren't always available, so it is common for an individual worker to lift the keg himself. Main Street Brewing has had to hire numerous workers to stock the truck and deliver the beer due to numerous injuries experienced by these workers. For example, last year, 2 employees suffered injuries that resulted in leaving the job for medical treatment. The employees place the kegs in the cooler wherever there's an open location. As shown in the diagram on page 4, this causes varieties of beer to be scattered throughout the cooler. There's no particular order, which often makes it difficult to find a specific variety of beer. Workers routinely complain about having to lift, move, and carry the kegs. Said one worker, "I understand that it's difficult to move these kegs, but I get frustrated because I have to move kegs around just to find the beer that I need for my order. It's like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes." What's most frustrating is that sometimes the beer that I need to find isn't even there. Even though the guys upstairs in sales tell us that the computer says we have the beer in stock, we don't. As customers, and those are stores, restaurants, and bars, as they place orders for beer, an order sheet is generated for delivery. During peak demand periods, the brewery delivers to customers 3 or 4 days per week. During off-peak periods, deliveries may only occur once or twice per week. On delivery days, the truck driver is given a bundle of order forms that indicate the customer, the type of beer ordered, and the quantity of kegs. The orders are arranged alphabetical by customer. His first task is to locate the kegs that contain the variety of beer needed for each order. This often requires the movement, lifting, lowering, and shifting of kegs in order to identify the type of beer contained in each keg. The beer type and production date are on a sticker affixed to the top of the keg. Once the proper keg is located, the worker loads 2 kegs onto the wheeled cart and stages the kegs on the loading dock. Once all the kegs needing to be delivered are on the loading dock, the worker loads the kegs into the truck based on his best guess about the optimum order of delivery. The loading process often takes several hours to complete. Normally, it takes nearly 2 hours to locate the kegs, 30 to 60 minutes to move the kegs to the loading dock, and 30 to 60 minutes to load the truck. Because most restaurants and bars have only a narrow window in the middle of the day during which deliveries are accepted, the delivery worker feels pressure to load the truck. Said one delivery worker, "My shift begins at 7 a.m., and if I'm lucky, I have the truck loaded by 9:30. And if I'm not on the road by 10, it's hard for me to deliver to all the customers on time. By the time I get done moving all the kegs and loading my truck, I'm dead tired. It should not be this difficult." The delivery worker considers it a good day if only 20% of the beer deliveries occur outside of the desired window of time for delivery. That's considered a good day.